What is up, guys? Your boy Torius back again with another video. I'm gonna be talking about just calming myself down. I'm gonna be talking about energy, right? Hold on. So I'm gonna be talking about energy and girls, right? And you. So, what do you have to do with energy? And what does girls have to do with energy, right? Basically, energy is all around us, right? The thing is that there's a lot of unseen, like there's like empty space, and then there's energy, right? Energy, an atom. All right, let's take it back to math class, right? So in math class, we're taught that matter is anything that takes up space, right? And that's why they say, oh, that does it matter? Oh, what really matters, right? Because if it takes up space, then it matters, right? Yeah. So matter is anything that takes up space, right? And when you go out in space, there's nothing there. So energy doesn't take up space, right? Like an atom. Atoms have energy and they have matter, and they create matter. They're both. They're space and matter, right? Like an electron. An electron is mostly, like, they say that electrons are particles and waves, right? So since they're both particles and waves, what that means is that they're basically matter and not matter, right? What does that have to do with it? The energy is in between the electrons, right? When the energy is in between the electrons, it creates something, right? And there's something in between the somethings. So let's say that there's a girl, right? And then there's you. Those are two somethings. In between those, the you and the girl, is nothingness, right? It's empty space. But if you imagine it like a train, right? A train is on a track. The track is mostly nothing. The train is the something. The train is going on the track, right? There's like the road. The road is mainly nothing. Like, you see the road? The road is mainly nothing. But when you put a car on it, it can go through the road, right? It's like so that's basically what the flow of the universe is, right? The flow of the universe is basically like a track, like the road. There's nothing on the road. The car is a something. It's like an atom can have a whole bunch of different electrons all over the place, but it's still that one atom, right? Basically, in the flow of the universe, that's when we breathe, right? When we're breathing, we take in that energy from the universe, right? And we move. We're able to move. Like, that's our fuel, right? Our fuel is basically, like, you know how like a train, in the train, you take coal, you put coal in the train burns, and then you move, right? Basically, when you're breathing, you eat food, and then you breathe to, your breath is basically the fire, right? Like when they say dragon's breath, they call it dragon's breath because it's fire, right? Like, because the breath is basically just fire. Like, they say it's air, but isn't it like, you know, like air makes fire bigger? Like, is there a coincidence? No. Air makes fire bigger because when we breathe, we take in that fire, right? So since we're taking in that fire, I'll go this way. Nah. Since we're taking in that fire, we breathe it in, we burn up our fat cells, which have energy, and then we let that fire out. Like, we burn calories, right? Basically, when these things happen, our metabolism, basically attraction happens with our metabolism, right? However fast or slow your metabolism is, that's what you attract. You basically attract your metabolism, right? Because when people are breathing, we can feel each other. We feel each other's breathing, right? And I learned a lot of this shit from being in Publix all day. Because when you be doing, you know, like, because I notice a lot of times when people, like, when I'm breathing, people come in my way, right? And when I have a lot of energy, people be like trying to take it, basically. But anyways, when you have a lot of energy, you basically go in that flow, right? Like when they say like, oh, she's out of your league. What league, right? The league of energy. My bad, I'm like super excited. You're like in the league of energy, right? You're basically in the league of how much of energy you have. Like if you're fat and unhealthy, you're gonna be in a certain league. You're gonna be in a league of fat and unhealthy people. If you're fit and healthy, you're gonna be in a league of fit and healthy people. When you have a lot of money, the money gives you a lot of confidence. You're gonna be in the league of those people that have the same amount of confidence, right? So when you're in the flow, you can like, because most of the times, if you can't get girls, it's because you're out of the flow, right? Or you're just in a different league. You're not in the same league as that girl. You're not in her flow, right? She's gonna pay attention to you if you're in her flow. If you're able to breathe at the same rate as her, if you guys have the same breathing, then you're gonna be attracted to each other, and then you're gonna be able to make a baby. But if you are not in the same breathing flow as her, the same flow of breath as her, she breathes different than you, so she's not gonna be attracted to you, right? That's why it's important to improve yourself. Because then when you're healthy and you're feeling confident about yourself, you breathe different, right? You have more energy, you have a different light to you. We're beings of light, right? And you know, like when they say like, oh, this woman looks extra radiant tonight, or she looks very radiant, it's light, radiation, right? It's light. Like gamma radiation, it's all light. So when you hear all these words and these terms, it's for a reason. When you are in that same flow as her, right? Because I just came from the store. I just came from Publix. And what I know, because the thing is like this morning, I had an energy drink, and then everyone took my energy, right? Whatever. And then I just left the store. When I was in the store, there was this girl, and I could tell she was following me around, right? She was acting real funny though, because she was like, she wasn't really looking at me, but she was in every aisle that I was in, and she was like, and I called this woman, right? And when I called this woman, she just like, I could tell, like, because the thing is, I could read people pretty good, right? And I could just read on her face. She's like, oh, he talked to me, right? Even though I didn't talk to her, I didn't really find her that attractive. So she, you know, we were in the same flow, right? I wasn't really in her flow, because the thing is, a lot of times, I feel like if you ever want to learn game, do Instacart, right? If you ever want to learn about people, because you get to observe all these people and what they're doing, right? Because in the supermarket, everyone walks around like zombies, very unconscious, right? Because they're all thinking, oh, what do I need at the house? Do I need this? They're not really in their bodies. They're all up in here, just thinking about shit. They're not really paying attention, bumping into people, just taking up as much energy as they can, because they're fucking zombies, right? Basically, they're zombies of consumerism. So a girl starts following me around, right? And I could tell if I talked to her, you know, she was on go. But it's like the energy. It's like I can feel the energy, right? Like before a girl even talks to me, all right. Now look, let me tell you the rule, right? Because there was this girl, right? And I saw her and her mom. I don't know if it was her mom, but both of them was looking at me, right? And I peeped. I already peeped game. Because I breathed, and then I felt them feeling me. And I was like, oh, all right, bet. I already tell. And they were just dead ass staring me in my eyes, right? And I'm like, all right, bet. And then homegirl starts, she was with her mom. Homegirl starts following me around, you know, I was in the produce aisle. She started following me around. I'm like, all right, bet. She wants me to talk to her. She wants me to say something to her, right? Because the thing is, remember, if a girl don't want to talk to you, she's going to go away from you, right? Because if I don't want to talk to someone, I go away from them, and girls do the same shit. You probably do the same thing too. If you don't want someone to talk to you, you're gonna avoid them, okay? So if a girl's not avoiding you, that means that there's something there. Because there's levels to it. Because there can be because because a girl's not gonna follow you around, or she's not even gonna be around you if she don't like you, right? Because the thing is, it's like I'm telling you, your flow, like, right? Because you could disgust the girl, right? Some girls are disgusted by some men, right? Because they're just like, oh damn, because we all go off of pheromones, right? You, I, girls, we all produce pheromones, right? And it's like, because it's all part of our immune system, right? Girls are basically attracted to your immune system. However strong your immune system is, that's what you're gonna attract in a girl. So basically, if you have a strong, healthy immune system, you're gonna attract a lot more girls. That's why you gotta take care of your body. Also, and I'm not just pulling this out my ass either, because when girls are on birth control, a lot of times when they get off birth control, because what birth control does basically, it blocks the girl's hormones, right? But what happens when you block those hormones is a lot of times her sense of smell is blocked too, because her hormones are what's producing those pheromones, right? So if you're blocking all those hormones and you're blocking off all those pheromones, the girl's not able to intake other pheromones, right? Because the birth control is basically blocking the man, right? The man's scent and the man's pheromones. When a girl gets off the pheromones, there was like some report or some shit that I had heard that they were talking about when the girl gets off of the pheromones, she realizes, oh, you know what, I'm not really attracted to this dude. Like, I was just attracted to him. I don't know why. She don't even know why. But it's because she's not taking the pheromone, the birth control, and her hormones are going back. Her hormones were fluctuating before, but now they're going back to how they were before when she wasn't on the birth control. And then she's just like, oh, you know what, this man is disgusting. I actually don't like him. I got with him when I was on the birth control. Because the thing is, dudes wear cologne, right? Because what cologne does is cologne masks your pheromones, right? It masks your smell. It makes you not be able to smell the man's immune system, because she's like, oh shit, this dude smells really good, right? That's why girls like cologne. Dudes like cologne too, like, because the thing is, we get attracted to cologne. Because, like, imagine if a girl smells like cookies, right? Cookies smell good as fuck, but are you gonna want a girl that smells like oh no, yeah, like like KFC, right? Or some fucking fried chicken. Fried chicken smells good as fuck. You want a girl that smells like fried chicken? You want a girl that smells like popcorn? Like, that still smells good, but it's not like we want a human to smell like that. That's why we wear cologne. Cologne don't smell like popcorn. Cologne don't smell like fried chicken. Cologne don't smell like cookies. Cologne smells like things that attract us, right? So basically, when we're attracted to those things, we go to them, right? So the girl is gonna feel your energy, because the thing is, all right, look, you give off those scents, you give off those pheromones because you're in your body, as in your metabolism, right? When you breathe, like when you have fat on your body, fat is energy, right? They say that, oh, fat is what stores your energy, right? So if you have a lot of fat, it's because you have a lot of energy that you have stored. And now that I realize that when a lot of times I'll be like wanting to go to sleep, right? But then the little voice in my head is saying like, nah, do this work, do this work. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to spend too much time, you know? Like, I don't want to spend too much energy, because I know if I go on energy mode, I'm gonna be up all night, right? That I'm not gonna be able to sleep. So a lot of times I'm like, let me store my energy, right? And I'll be eating. So what happens is when you store that energy, it turns into fat. The only way to burn that fat is to breathe, is to combust it. Right? You burn it. You're burning that fat. But what happens when you're burning that fat? It's like your metabolism is basically like the flesh in your body. And it's like touching it and burning it, sending the air to it to burn it, so that you can live, you know, so you have the energy. I forgot what I was talking about. Because the thing is, that's what happens. That's why they say when you, like mindfulness, right? When they talk about mindfulness, they say like, oh, when you're breathing and you're focusing on your breath, you're not thinking, you're not overthinking so much, right? Because when you breathe and you start doing it, you forget. You get out of your head and you go to your whatever part of the body that you're breathing through, and then you just touch that, and then but then you're not there in your head thinking, you're not in your thoughts. I don't know. It's a good practice to have. That's why meditation is so important, because your body be talking to you all day. You just ignore it because you're all up in your head. That's why you can't get chicks. Because then you see the girl and you're like, oh, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. No. It's not good. That's not good to say. You feel me? But then it's because you're not in your body. You're all up in here thinking about all the bad situations, all the bad stuff that might happen. That being said, energy is so important. Because a lot of people be like, oh, energy, focus, right? All this energy stuff. But it's like, my nigga, trains have energy. Car, like when you burn fuel, what is that? It's energy. You're burning fuel to make energy for the car. Like, energy is not just spiritual. Energy is, we use energy, right? That's why I like metaphysics so much. Because metaphysics just shows, it's like the bridge between spirit, all that spiritual shit, and science, right? Because before, I never used to believe in spirituality. I was always into science, right? So I learned a lot about science, and I paid attention in science class. I love science. But then I got spiritual, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, spirituality is just another way to explain things, you know? Science explains it in a simpler way. Because spirituality is like feelings, and it's like, what the hell is a feeling? Like, you have to feel it in order to understand it. And it's like, if you're not feeling it, you're not gonna understand. But yeah, only pay attention to the girls that are in your flow, right? Like, I was thinking about it. The best way to, like, I feel like the best gauge to see what's in, like, who's in your league, is just go to the grocery store and go in the aisles, right? Whoever's in your aisle, because think about it. If there's a girl in the aisle, that's making her vulnerable for you to talk to her, right? Because the thing is, a lot of times, I'll be walking in, the way I got into this, like, conclusion is that I would be in the stores, and then there were the pretty ass girls, right? I'll see pretty ass girl, but you know, she's not in my league. So what she'll do, she'll avoid me, right? Because she already tell what time I'm on. She already knows I'm attracted to her. She already knows I'm trying to take her energy. She already knows I like her, right? What she'll do is she won't be in the same aisle as me, right? She'll just avoid me. She'll literally just go into a different aisle. Like, she'll literally just avoid me, you know? And I realized, like, oh, but then there are some girls, right? Like, homegirl I talked to, right? I was saying, I saw a homegirl in the store, in the produce section with her mom. I talked, you know, the only thing I said to her was, excuse me. And she's like, oh, sorry, whatever. I already knew she liked me. I already knew what time she was on, right? I go in the aisle, and she's there. She ain't moving. She ain't walking away. She's like, you know, she's just there. And then I went to go get my stuff, and it's funny because she's like moving with me, right? Like, wherever I move, she moves too, and I'm just like, oh, okay, bet. Because I already tell she wants me to talk to her. First time I didn't, but then she's just like, it's there. So I was just like, you know what, fuck it, let me just say something to her. So then I went to her and I was like, oh, that shirt's really pretty, right? And I was like, well, you got a really pretty shirt. She's like, oh, right? She was just like, because the thing is, I could tell she was already excited. I said something to her. And I was like, okay, and she wanted me to keep talking to her, but I wasn't, you know, I didn't want to say something just to say something. I wasn't really into her like that. She was a little old. But the thing is like, I could already tell that she wanted me to talk to her because she was right next to me. She wouldn't be right next to me unless she wanted me to talk to her. You know what I mean? Because that's when they say choosing signals. It's not a choosing signal. Is the bitch right next to you or not? You know what I mean? Like, there's no such thing as a choosing signal. There are, obviously, like if she's looking in your eyes. That's it. That's all girls get. Girls give you the signal. Like, imagine like a plane, right? A dude waiting for a girl to go up to him is basically like you being in a plane, right? And you expecting the airport to go to the plane. The airport's not gonna go to the plane. The plane has to go to the airport, right? That's why they give you the signal. Okay, it's all clear to land. Like, that's all they can do. The airport can't take someone to Wisconsin or California. They can't do all that. All the airport can do is give you the signal. Yes, you can land here. Yes, you can land here. It's all the airport conductor, right? Whatever, the airport traffic coordinator, conductor, whatever the fuck it is. That's all they can really do. Give you the signal to land. If she ain't giving you the signal to land, then you can't land. She's not gonna go up to you. She's not gonna go to the plane and be like, okay, everyone in the air, let me take you down here. You know, she's not gonna do that. All she can do is give you the signal. And with that, I hope you guys learned something. Don't be making a fool of yourself in front of the girls. Sometimes the best thing to do is not say nothing. Well, unless you know, like, yeah, that's not right. Always, you know, like, always just get your confidence. Because the thing is, talking to girls, like, going up to them is like a double-edged sword, right? It's like you can go up to them and talk to them, and it's either gonna, like, if it goes good, it'll boost your confidence, but if it goes down, it'll lessen it. It'll make you feel bad. So it's like a gamble, basically. But, you know, us men, we take risks. We gamble. With that being said, like the video, comment what you think, comment your thoughts, what you want me to talk about next. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.